it's Mo. I am so glad you are here today. I don't have sunshine, and I only work with natural light. It's overcast, it's cold, it's gonna snow tonight. You know what? We're just gonna work with what we got. I think I've gotten this to the point where I think the swatches are gonna look fine. The reason I only work with natural light is to keep things as realistic as possible for you, so that if you decide you're gonna buy something, you don't get home and think, wow, that looks nothing like the swatches I saw. And we're gonna talk about Rare Beauty. I am confident that you've seen some Rare Beauty reviews because there are approximately 14,000 of them on YouTube. The line came out about a month ago. It's Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. Pretty sure you know that already. Pretty sure you've seen some reviews, as I said. But I want to talk specifically about the holiday sets that came out just a little over a week ago. But I thought since we're going to talk about the holiday sets, I'd also talk about what I think of the foundation and concealer and the primer and overall what I think of the products in this line because it is a new line. So mainly we're going to focus on holiday, but I thought I'd give you that other information in case that is of interest to you. So the holiday sets we're talking about, there are three, and I did get all three. They are all called the Best of Rare Beauty, and they are all either lip only or lip and cheek. So the lip only set is 2 mini lip souffles. There is a smaller duo, a lip and cheek duo, and then there is a 4-piece mini lip and cheek set. So those are the 3 holiday sets that they have released. They do say these are limited edition. I purchased mine from Sephora, but I know they're also available on the Rare Beauty website. As far as I know, those are the only 2 places you can get these. All the colors in these sets are part of the permanent line. There are no exclusive shades in here, so keep that in mind if you've already purchased something. And I want to start with the 4-piece. It's what I have on at the moment. So the boxes are all surprisingly nice. I know that might seem like an odd thing to say, but they are a bit shiny, but they have kind of that matte, shiny, textured feel. And they feel very nice. And also a detail that I don't think anyone cares about but me, but I love it when there's a way to open a box and you don't have to like dig your nails in to try to, pull the flap out. Just little details like that. I'm surprised, particularly since this is, I guess most people would refer to this as a mid-range brand. It's sold at Sephora, as I said, but it's not a luxury brand in terms of pricing. It's also not drugstore, but it's not that far off from some drugstore prices. So I think the packaging is really, really nice, little embossed. This is the logo here, kind of a circle with an R for Rare Beauty. You see the products on the front and then, the ingredients and that sort of thing around the back. But what's really inside that set, the 4-piece set, we've got a lip souffle, and then we've got 2 little blushes. These are the Soft Pinch Liquid blushes. Those are the only blushes that have been released in the line. The only type of blush, I should say. And then one of the With Gratitude Dewy Lip Balms. So these are minis. One of the things I like is that these are in identical packaging to the full-size makeup, which I think is really nice because the packaging of this line I do think is pretty nice. This is kind of a soft touch feel to the lid. It feels good. I think these are adorable. I like the packaging in general of these Soft Pinch Liquid blushes, but I think it's really nice that they just miniaturized it. They're very easy to open. I know that was one of the goals Selena had with this line, or so she has said, was that she wanted it to be easier to open for people who have difficulty with things like that, which I think is very thoughtful and a great idea. And then in terms of the With Gratitude Mini Lip Balm, the only thing that's different about the packaging of this, it's not magnetized. It actually has a click closure, as you can hear. The full size is magnetized and has a very, very weak magnet. Again, I presume that's to make it easier to open. This one probably then, if someone's having difficulty of that nature, would have a little tougher time opening this, but I think it will stay closed better, if it's in a purse or something like that. So that's really the only difference in terms of the packaging. So at the moment, what I have on is this blush and this With Gratitude Dewy Lip Balm. So this is the Love blush. You can see I put it on this morning. This is not a first impression at all. I've used all these products. I've been testing the line for a month, so I'm pretty well acquainted with the formula and that kind of thing. It's really, for me, mainly about telling you about the colors. So in case you haven't seen, these are a doe foot applicator, like that. And for my purposes, I put some blush on the back of my hand, and then I use my fingers typically to apply and blend that. So I'll kind of dip in with maybe my ring finger, pat some on, and then use my clean fingers to blend it around. And that's what I do. That's what I've done with all these blushes. So if you've seen reviews already, you probably know that these have quite a bit of color payoff. I know a lot of people have said use a really small amount. I think that's good advice when you're starting, is, you know, kind of figure out the amount that you want to use. You may have to experiment a bit with that. But they do sheer out and they do blend pretty nicely. This, by the way, is one of the matte blushes. So there are matte and there are dewy. So Love is one of the matte blushes, and as you can see, it's kind of a warm, kind of a terracotta. And again, this is what I have on today. I find that the matte blushes are a little bit more challenging to blend than the dewy blushes. So there's 4 of each in the full line. There's 4 dewy and 4 matte. I think these look very nice, the matte ones. I think this is a pretty color. It's a little warmer than I would have chosen. I tend to lean toward cooler blush colors, but it's fine, and I think it would suit a lot of people. But I do find the matte just a touch more patchy blending out than the dewy. So something you may want to consider. That is what I have on my cheeks. And then the With Gratitude lip balm. This is in Support. That's the name of the shade. And it is called a plummy brown. You can obviously see that I'm wearing it, but here's a swatch also, so you can see those two together. And those are obviously 2 of the 4 in that set. And the other blush, which is dewy blush, is Joy. Now this is one I've seen reviewed a lot. This, at least when I looked this morning, this particular shade in the full size is sold out at Sephora.com. I think this is a pretty, it's a pretty, what people would refer to maybe as an everyday shade. So I think this is a pretty popular one. And again, I'll just kind of swatch it the way I did the other one. This is a dewy blush, which I prefer a little bit over the matte blushes. I'm just going to show you here. Blend it out. And you can see, you know, depending on how much you put on, you know, you will have to shear this out. I started out with very small dots when I started working with this formula, and I've just kind of figured out the amount I need now, and it works very nicely. But for me, there is a difference between the dewy formula and the matte. I much prefer the dewy formula to the matte. Which is not to say I don't like the matte at all, but I do find it a little more challenging to work with. In this set, you're getting one of each, so you could form your own opinion, obviously. And then the lip souffle in this one is called Transform, which is kind of a deep wine. That's how it's described anyway. And these are not, you know, like a super dry down, super dry, super long lasting lip. I've worn these several times. They do give a matte appearance. I actually like to put these on and blot them to give a little bit more of a stained effect. I really like this particular shade. I had it on, I think yesterday actually, and I put a picture on Instagram. I'll put that here. And kind of ended up with a bee stung lip, which I really liked. So I do enjoy these. They're very comfortable. And they last pretty well, but they're not gonna last all day. So this is the set. Right? These are the 4 things that come in that set. So for me, this is a really nice overview. There's a matte blush, there's a dewy blush, there's a lip balm, and there's a lip souffle. And it's $28 for that set, which I think, based on the products you get, the amount of products you get, I think that's a fair price. And I think it is a really nice way to try the line, particularly if you haven't purchased any of these shades in the full size, which I had not. I didn't have any of these shades. I did tell you I'd try the lip souffle, and I do want to try that on for you so you can see how it is with this blush. This is not the kind of lip product for me anyway that I could just throw on. Like, I don't know if you noticed on the sponge tip applicator, but there is a nice edge at the top that you can really use to precisely get around the lip line if you want to. And then the way that I put it on, I usually start on the bottom lip, fill that in, kind of blend them together, and then finish up my Cupid's bow and that kind of thing, which seems to be about the right amount for me. And then, as I said, like, this is so creamy. It is so comfortable. But I do kind of like to blot it. In general, I like to blot lipstick. I don't like anything too goopy or whatever. And about that much came off. And it still feels super creamy. But I really like that look. So those are the 4 things in the 4-piece lip and cheek set for holiday from Rare Beauty. So I took that lip off, and then I thought it made sense to do the lip duo next. So we'll do that. These are the lip souffles, 2 mini lip souffles. This set and the other smaller set are $15 each, just so you know that. And all the lip and cheek products are made in Korea, in case that interests you. So the colors in that set are Inspire, which is described as a bright red and is on the website as Selena's favorite or whatever. And then the other one is Fearless, which is a deep mauve rose, according to the description. I'm not sure I agree with that description. And I wanted to mention, so I obviously just took off that other lip souffle, and I still feel some like conditioning or whatever from that formula. It's a really nice formula. So this is Inspire. You know, this is obviously a much warmer, more yellow-based red, we'll say. A bright red. Although I will say, this is bright, but it's not shocking bright. And again, of course, it's the exact same feel, exact same formula as the other one. So that is Inspire. And then we're going to try Fearless. So I'll take this off. I wanted to mention too that Selena Gomez, you've probably seen these. She made little like YouTube style videos for each of the products. And in the video about the lip souffle, she said she wanted bold colors. So I think she achieved that. I think there's one shade that's maybe a nude, kind of a nude. I do not have that one, but most of them are pretty bold. Not the neatest job ever, but you get the idea. So this is Fearless, and this is described as a deep mauve rose. In this lighting, it actually does look that way. I do think it leans a little more brown than rose. So Fearless. So that set has, you know, the bright red, and then this more neutral, I guess we'll say, shade. $15 again for that set. And then the third set is the Duo, so a lip and cheek duo. Again, same packaging as the others. And this one has the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in Bliss, and it has one of the Grateful Dewy Lip Balms, and this one is in Thankful. And I know that when I was watching reviews and first impressions and things, these were colors that a lot of people were choosing. I think because they're a little lighter, maybe a little more everyday. Again, I don't really prefer that term, but I think you know what I mean when I say that. So this is the lightest of the blush shades, and this is Bliss, and this is a matte. And I have worn this. I do not have it on right now. But let's show you what Bliss looks like. So Bliss, you can tell already this is significantly lighter than the other 2 blushes that were in the other set. In fact, this shade on me does not show up a whole lot. It's very, on me, it's very subtle, specifically compared to the other shades that I have. So that is Bliss. And again, that's a matte. Now this one, because it is a lighter color, even though it's one of the matte blushes, it's more forgiving on my kind of skin tone than this darker one. So that's Bliss. And then I thought, to be fair and to give you a good comparison, I would swatch it next to the others from the other set. I thought that might be useful. So Bliss, and then here's Joy, which again is the dewy formula, which you've already seen, and Love is the other one. And again, Love's the one that I am wearing, the kind of terracotta, which is a matte formula. And again, that, you know, I didn't put as much of this one on, but you've already seen it. So bliss, joy, and then love. And love again is the one I have on. Just thought that might be interesting. And then the lip in the duo set is Thankful, which is described as a nude mauve. Again, this is the With Gratitude Dewy Lip Balm. So formula I've already tried. I'll try this one on. So that's Thankful. So it's Bliss and Thankful. This lip that I'm wearing, and then this lightest blush. Let's just look at these again, just because that was a lot of things. So the lip and cheek duo, the one I just did, so this lip and this light blush, this is $15. So I think that's a great choice for someone who's looking for somewhat lighter or more neutral kinds of colors. If that works with your skin tone, that might be a really good opportunity to try the blush formula and to try the lip balm if those are the formulas you're interested in, and if you don't have those colors. The lip souffle duo is going to be, well, it's going to depend on if you're interested in that kind of formula that's longer wearing but very comfortable, but it's not bulletproof. So that kind of thing. And if you like these colors, so if you want this bright red and you want this deeper mauve rose, or if you just want to try the formula. So this is $15 also. And then the 4-piece set, if you're interested in trying, you know, a dewy blush, a matte blush, the lip balm, and the lip souffle, you can get all of this for $28. I had not purchased any of those colors, so they were all brand new to me, and I wanted to try them. I wanted to try them, first of all, but I wanted to try them for you so you could see exactly what's inside each set, what do they cost, and let you know kind of what I think about them. Let's talk about the line a little bit. So I have some other colors too, and as long as I've swatched these blushes, I thought I would swatch the blushes that I actually purchased when I got the line. The one that I bought and that I've used quite a bit is Happy. I really like this blush. This is one of the dewy blushes. I haven't seen this one swatched a lot actually, so I thought that might be helpful. And again, I'm not going to blend it out completely or whatever, but you get the gist. So that's the color of Happy. I love a pink blush. I love a blue toned pink blush, so that's right up my alley. And then I also had gotten as a sample, I had gotten Grace. So I thought I would also swatch that in case you're curious about some of these colors. This is Grace, which is a matte, and it's a bit more purple leaning, purple mauve leaning. So this is Grace. And again, I didn't put a ton of that on. But you can see how deep that looks, but it shears out pretty well on the skin. I'm going to put a little bit more of that on just to give you a better sense of that color. As you can see. I think that's a little more accurate. And I did put a little more of this one on. So again, it's not exactly apples to apples, but just in case you're curious. Bliss, Joy, Love, Happy, and Grace. And then I also wanted to show you, I thought it might be helpful if you could see comparison swatches of those dewy lip balms, especially compared to the one that I purchased and that I've worn a lot. I purchased the shade Empathy when I bought the line. Bought the pieces of the line I was interested in. So I'm going to compare those for you too. So the one I have on is Thankful, which I'm going to swatch next to a couple others here. So here's Thankful. And Support, this is the other mini, and this is a plum brown. So you can see the difference in depth. And then the one that I wear and that I have in the full size, and you can see this magnetic closure. It's very light and kind of, it goes off kilter a lot. This is Empathy. This is my favorite. I really like this shade. This is more of a rose. I really like this shade. So there's a comparison of obviously a full size, same formula, but also a comparison with the ones in the mini set. Then a couple other things. They did release 2 limited edition eyeshadow palettes with the collection. I purchased one mainly because I wanted to try it, and this is the colors in Magnetic Spirit. Of course, I love purples. I think you know that. I talk about it a lot. But I really love that this is, here's purples, and here's a totally different color scheme, and there's 6 shadows. So I'm wearing this and this today, that's it. I very much like the way these perform. Everything is a shimmer. There are no mattes in this palette or the other palette actually. Everything is a shimmer. I didn't get any fallout when I've used these. I like the colors. You know, you can see that I've used this shimmery peachy orange in the crease. I'm very comfortable with the way that looks and the way that it performed. These are 1.3 grams each, so they're good sized pans, and this is $25. I think this is a really, if you like the colors and you're not put off by the fact that they're all shimmer, I think this is really nice. I also think if you have the right person, that would be a really, really nice gift. And just overall, the Complexion products. So I do have a mini of the primer, and I have the foundation in 170W and the concealer in 170W. Part of the reason it's taken me so long to really talk about Rare Beauties because I've been on the fence big time about this foundation. And I've watched a ton of reviews about it too. You know, sometimes I do that. I'm like, okay, what do other people think? Because maybe I'm not getting it or whatever. And I'm gonna be honest, when I first started using it, I was not crazy about it. I felt like it went on too heavy. I felt like it emphasized dryness quite a lot. But I am a finger applicator person generally for foundation, or I might use a brush. I didn't love it either of those ways, but I will say this. When I started putting it on with a sponge, I really felt that it's pretty. That's what I did today. I think it really gives a nice finish, and I really do like the primer with it. So this combination and then using a sponge, for me, I really do like the way this looks. It is not the longest lasting foundation I've ever had. It lasts quite nicely, but it's not what I would go to if I need something that I know is gonna get me through like a 12-hour day or whatever, and it's gonna look perfect, because it does wear away like the chin and around the nose and that kind of thing. But I like the finish, I like the way it looks. It doesn't, on me, it doesn't settle into lines or anything like that. So I have found a way that I really do like this foundation a lot. Having said that, I feel like I had to go through a lot of ways of trying it to get to a point where I really liked it. So for me, this was not a home run at all. I like it very much now, and I'll continue to use it. But I feel like I have to do it in a very specific manner. So I don't know if that impacts any of your decision making, but I did want to let you know that. And then the concealer really doesn't do a lot for me. It's fine. I don't find it, I'm not a big concealer person anyway. The place I mainly use concealer is around my nose because I have a constantly runny nose. I'm constantly blowing it. I don't use a lot of concealer under my eyes. I don't find that it's very helpful. So this is fine. It definitely does not dethrone my ColourPop Pretty Fresh, which is my favorite concealer for quite some time. This is fine. I think Rare Beauty is a good line. I think they've made some interesting choices, especially all liquid blush, you know, a different formula for their foundation. It's more of that, this isn't accurate, but I consider it like a dry oil that you have to mix up. There's like a mixer bead in there. I think the packaging is very nice. I think there's a lot of thoughtfulness that has gone into the packaging. And, you know, I think you're aware that 1% of the proceeds goes to help with mental health, particularly for people who can't afford mental health assistance. I think that's really important. Of course, you can make those donations on your own. You don't have to buy cosmetics to make that happen. But overall, I think the line is good. I think it's comprehensive. I think they've done a nice job. I don't think I'm the target of this line. I don't think they're looking at women my age for this line. Having said that, I'm very happy with it, and it's worked pretty well for me. My favorite products would be the liquid blush, the dewy formula. And I go back and forth on the lips. I like both lips quite a bit. If I had to pick one, I suppose I'm gonna lean toward the one that's just a little easier to throw on, which would be the With Gratitude lip balm, which feels very nice, and as I said, really, the payoff is more like a lipstick. So that is the 3 holiday sets from Rare Beauty. Also, we talked about one of the eyeshadow palettes and the face products, and that is everything I think at this point in time about Rare Beauty. And I hope that was helpful, because that is always my only purpose here. I hope you are at peace today, and I will talk to you soon.